Hi friends, this is Helen with North Girl Gone South. This is Halloween DIYs, quick and easy for the most part. I got this small pet dish, food dish. I got the globe that I got from Dollar Tree. I got these lights. Those lights are not from Dollar Tree, but you can get them from the Dollar Tree. Some black paint and a paintbrush. This is super simple. All I'm going to do is paint the pet bowl dish in black, and I only do one coat because this paint totally covers. I don't do the bottom, I just do around the outside and the inside. And on the globe, I do just the white bottom, just the trim, because when I glue it inside the pet dish, I don't want any white showing on the outside. So there's the pet dish painted. It took 5 minutes. I used the blow dryer to dry it. Now I'm going to paint the outside rim so that it's black. I'm going to glue it with hot glue. If you want it permanent, you can use E6000 to the bottom of the pet dish, so that it doesn't move around and you can't knock it out of the bowl. And then I'm going to take the lights. Now these are a battery operated lights. So I'm going to, and they're the very thin wire. So I can put them in the globe and still leave the battery pack outside and screw the globe on. It's thin enough that it lets you do that. I actually have the battery pack hidden underneath the pet dish on my fireplace, so you don't even see it. See right there, I just screw it on, and the wire is so thin that you could screw it on. Now that was an easy DIY. Look at how simple. Now DIY number 2 is even easier. If you could see at the bottom of the screen, there's a candlestick from the Dollar Tree. I painted that black also with the same black paint. And I got a dessert container from the Dollar Tree. They carry them for every holiday. I got the Halloween one because it had a black top. And the top is scalloped, and I don't even have to paint it. It's the perfect color. It's a matte black. And I'm going to, again, use hot glue, but you could use E6000. And I'm just going to glue the candlestick to the cover. It's that easy. You don't have to paint the candlestick, but I like it for Halloween. It looks great being all black. There's a little dot in the middle so you can find the center real easy. I glue it together, and then I put these 2 DIYs on my fireplace with, I bought a large fuzzy spider from the Dollar Tree, and then the little bag of skulls, and I put the globe on top of this riser. I put a little skeleton in the corner, a little spider, well, it's a pretty big spider, climbing up the side of the globe, and put it on my fireplace with some of the books, the Halloween books I found at the Dollar Tree, and also some of the Halloween jars that I got from the Target Dollar Spot. Those jars are from the Target Dollar Spot, and the books are from the Dollar Tree. Perfect for Halloween. My next DIY is another easy DIY. The last one is a little more complicated and extremely messy. But this one is easy. I bought a bag of the ghosts. I'm just going to not even fully cover them white. I'm just going to brush them so it's like a see-through white on the ghosts. I'm going to paint them all white. I'm going to use the Dollar Tree twine to put through the hole so that I could hang them on my garland. I bought the garland at Hobby Lobby. I believe it was $19.99, but I got it 50% off. It's the Buffalo Check and Burlap garland. I wanted something neutral that I could decorate for every season, every holiday. Sorry that my ghosts are out of the shot, but you'll see them when I show you them hanging up on my garland. That's the garland. They have one actually out for Christmas that's a little bit thinner. That's $9.99 and 40% off. So if you're interested, you could get one now. I have the ghosts. I even have them on my wreath. Those are the pumpkins and the leaves that I painted in the last DIY video. And then now I bought turkeys because I wanted to decorate that garland for Thanksgiving. I didn't want to make the turkeys too cartoonish, so I did paint the outside. I took a few 5 colors, fall type colors, and I'm just going to brush them on the feathers. And then what I'm going to do is to blend it. I think each turkey I used, the first turkey I used probably all the colors because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the feathers. But once I do the other turkeys, I only use like 2 colors per turkey. And then I do the main part of the turkey in the antique wax. And while everything is still wet, I take a paper towel and I rub it across the brown and the colors so that it kind of like just stains the wood, the brown, the yellows, the oranges, and then I just antique wax the back of all the turkeys. You'll see, I'll show you a little bit of a close-up. See, you could see right there the feathers look a little like a muted orange. I tried to mix 2 colors on each turkey so that gave it a little more interest. Like that turkey is the green and the orange. Now see, you have it, I did total brown on the back and the muted on the front. So it's more of a rustic adult color turkey, not so cartoonish. And I used the twine on those again. Now the last DIY. This one wasn't so easy and was extremely messy. I used 9 5x7 frames to make 3 shadow boxes. So you save 3 backs, 3 pieces of glass, and you glue 3 frames together. Now I'm going to make See No Evil, Hear No Evil, Speak No Evil with the skeletons. This is the paper book that I bought at the Dollar Spot for $1. I picked 3 pages, cut it out, and now I'm going to glue those to the backing. They are a little bit short, but what I'm going to do is glue hay to the bottom. I originally had cut the hay bales from the Dollar Tree in half. These are just some of the decorations I used to decorate each shadow box. But they were still too thick, even though I used 3 frames. So I tried to make them thinner and they fell apart. So then I wind up just gluing the hay by itself to the bottom. So I'm going to use hot glue to put the paper. You could use a glue stick. You could use craft glue. I do suggest that when you glue the hay to the bottom, that you use craft glue, white glue, or something a little bit easier. I use hot glue on the first one, and it was a major pain in the butt. And it was bad enough that the hay was a major pain in the butt because there was hay everywhere. And I craft in my dining room, on my dining room table. So I was vacuuming up hay for a while. So, I also had a little bit of an issue with the skeletons. Are very comfortable with their hands, their arms at their sides. So you do have to play with the skeletons a little bit, bend their arms and stuff to get them to glue, because I did glue. One I glued his hands to his eyes, one to his mouth, and one I glued his hands to his ears. It is possible, I promise, because I did it, but you do have to hold it until it is completely dry. It wants to come off. It does. So now I'm just going to glue the glass into the front frame of the shadow box. And then I glue the second frame and the third frame so that it's a thick shadow box. I did take all the tabs out of all the frames. Do not do that to the last one, because I had to glue the cardboard, the backing, to my final frame. The glue, the hot glue, works fine, but if you want these long term, I would use E6000 on the frames to glue them together. They came out adorable. I love them. They are so cute. And they do remind me of me and my two brothers. Every time I see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, I think of me and my two sidekicks when we were growing up. So see, I used the hot glue here, but it was not that easy. So on the other two, I do use craft glue. And then I do use the hot glue to glue the leaves on. Right there, I'm holding his hands on his mouth. And I glue the leaves. This is how I decided to decorate them. You could decorate them however you want. I decided to decorate all three with two corresponding leaves. And then one I have a sunflower, and the other two I have pumpkins. So I just cut the pumpkins off those sticks and glued them right next to the leaves, right next to the skeletons. And right here I was going to glue the little sunflower in the same place where I glued the pumpkins, but I glue the skeleton down. Make sure you use plenty of glue to keep the skeleton down, because he has a little spine problem. It's not totally flat. So I glue the skeleton down, and then after I get the skeleton there, I decide he's going to be a she, and I do glue the sunflower to my female skeleton's head, so she has a flower in her hair. Fitner for the flower, and there we go. I add a little glue to the back to make sure that my speak no evil doesn't come off. I tell you what, if I was going to do this again, I would definitely use raffia or the Excelsior grass. Probably would have been a little less messy than the hay. So I glue the tiny sunflower to her head, and that one's done. The other two I do the exact same thing, but instead of the sunflower, I do glue the pumpkin to the side, right next to it, like he's sitting next to the pumpkin. And there she is, all nice and cute. Now I glued the frames together, and like I said, I would use E6000, and then glued it. I had to glue the backing because I took all the tabs off. And there's the shadow box. And I did the other two the exact same way. You will definitely see them better on my fireplace. And there's the ones with the pumpkins. Sorry about the glare, sorry about the angle, but you kind of get the idea. And there we go, guys. If you like what I do, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.